11.2 Quadratic Formula. So we want to go ahead and solve these quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. To do so, remember the equation must be completely simplified, meaning no parentheses, like terms must all be combined, and all terms must be on one side. You must have a 0 on the other so that we can clearly identify the coefficients. Go ahead and write down the quadratic formula on the side here, just so we remember. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, that entire quantity over 2a. So a, b, and c are basically the coefficients, or a is the coefficient of the squared term, b is the coefficient of the linear term, and then c is the constant. So let's go ahead and apply that here. So we will have y equals, if we want to identify our pieces here, a is 1 because that's a coefficient there. B and c is negative 4. So y equals negative b, negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 4. All over, so it's the entire expression over 2 times 1. Okay, so let's simplify that. Y equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4, and negative 4 times negative 4 is 16, so plus 16 over 2. That's negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 20 over 2. We can go ahead and simplify the square root of 20, taking out a factor of 4. So that'll be negative 2 plus or minus 2 radical 5 over 2. Now simplifying, remember, simplifying here, these are terms that are being added or subtracted. If you wanted to cancel something with the denominator, you have to cancel from every single term. These work as a group, right? So we see that they all have a factor of 2 in common that we can cancel out. So that will give us, one way to look at it is also if you separate it out. Negative 2 over 2 plus or minus 2 radical 5 over 2. So that'll give us negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 5. And then we'll put that in set form. Okay, let's try another one. So notice this one is not simplified. We have parentheses, meaning that we need to distribute terms still, and we have terms on both sides. Everything needs to be collected. So let's go ahead and first combine it, or open everything up. So that gives us 7x squared plus 14x plus 5 equals 3x squared plus 3x. We can go ahead and move these terms over to the left side. So 7x squared minus 3x squared is 4x squared. 14x minus 3x is plus 11x plus 5 equals 0. So if we identify A, B, and C here, A is 4, B is 11, and C is 5. So x equals negative 11 plus or minus the square root of 11 squared minus 4 times 4 times 5, all over 2 times 4. Okay, can go across here. So this equals negative 11 plus or minus the square root of 121 minus 80 all over 8. That will be negative 11 plus or minus the square root of 41 over 8. You notice 41 is a prime number. We'd have nothing to take out of the radical, nothing simplifies, so those two are our final solutions. Basically negative 11 plus radical 41 divided by 8 and negative 11 minus radical 41 divided by 8, but we can leave them as 1 because they cannot be simplified.